that is mostly Canadian as well. But recently, about 2 years ago, my husband and I and our kids, we moved to Arizona, which is much warmer, but I very much miss Canada, to be close to his family for a while and beat the winters. But I feel like today, as I talk to you guys about cultivating relationships, which is what I'm super passionate about, I feel like I need to give you an idea of my business, because in the 6 years, we've moved countries twice, and I'm sort of a SC20, bring on 4 coaches a month kind of coach. And I think it's important that you understand that, because everybody can move at a different pace in this business, and our team has been able to achieve 4-time elite at that pace. So that you understand, as I talk about the things that I do every single day, you can understand that I get in and out of my business. I like to be like 25 hours a week working my business so that I can spend my other time doing the other things that fill our cup. And although everybody has different times and different things to commit, just so that you understand how quickly I move as you learn the way I do things. And I'm going to really try to be a super open book for you guys today. So first, let me just tell you a little bit about my story. Because in the very beginning, we were actually living in Minnesota at the time when I picked up P90X and dove into that program, which, as I think about it now, like an hour and a half of yoga once a week was a very long thing to do when we're used to now shorter workouts, right? But I had my 2 kids at the time were, our son James was 11 months and our daughter was not quite 3 when I did P90X, and when I heard about this coaching opportunity. And the moment I heard about it, I was like, I have got to share this feeling, that we get, that I'm sure all of you guys have had, or saw some of you guys lose so much weight. Like, it's freedom, right? When we get in control of our lives and we feel really good in our bodies, it's freedom. And I knew that I wanted to share that with other people, and I wanted the freedom of running my own business. And this is my dad here, and I like to joke with him, my sister and I, when we were little, because my dad, when I decided to run this business, he's been an entrepreneur my whole life, and he had come out to Minnesota to visit us, and my husband, who's here, was watching the kids, and we went out for dinner. And I remember being really nervous to tell my dad that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, lean into this business. And he said to me, as we're sitting over sushi, he said, "Tweeter," because that's what he calls me, "I think that's great. I had a friend who was in the network marketing industry, and he had a sign on his wall in his office that said, 'I'm just looking for the people who are looking for me.'" And that was a really cool thing for me to learn at that point in time. It gave me a lot of hope, I think, and it helped me set that mindset for what we're doing, right? Because sometimes it can be very overwhelming what we do. We're out there's all these people, we get no's left, right, and center. And it helped me kind of have that heart in my place of, I'm just looking for the people who are looking for me. However, if that's all we had to do, like if I just had to tell you how to find the people who are looking for you, I could share this next slide and we could be done. This is how we find the people. So, like, raise your hands. Who knows what this is? Who does this at least 5 days a week, like without fail, no matter what? Okay, next time someone comes here, you all must have your hands raised. This is the Success Club Tracker. It is an incredible tool. It is, or some version of this. Maybe you do another version of this, a different type of tracker every day. This is what helps us find people, add them to our network, start with us, invite people. It's what holds us accountable to the daily activities and what turns this from just a passion into an active business. This is how we find people who are looking for us. It's really nice to look at because you can tick it off each day and it works. I promise you it is entirely the first half of how I built my business. But it's not the whole picture. Because how many of you are doing this kind of thing and tracking it every single day, and then you craft this perfect call to action post? Does everyone know what a CTA or a call to action post is? Yeah. If you, it's good, you can raise your hand. I like it. And you've crafted this post, maybe you've even seen another successful coach use some words, and you craft this, and you are really nervous, and you take a deep breath, and you post the post, and you get crickets. Please tell me if this has happened to you. I hope I'm not alone, because this has definitely happened to me, and it still does sometimes. Every day. Who said that? It happens, right? And there's a reason it happens. I guess I should say before I say the reason, it's extra hard because sometimes we see other really successful coaches and they post this call to action and they have all this response. And we're like, suddenly, when we have none and they have so many, it's like suddenly we start to feel like the Janice in the room. Maybe you feel embarrassed. Maybe you feel like nobody cares. Maybe you feel like you're not cut out for it, and that little seed of doubt kind of starts to creep in. I've definitely had it. I still have to, like 6 years in, you guys, I still have to remind myself, like, I belong here. I've got something to say, and so do all of you. So the trouble is that here we are, we post this call to action, and unfortunately, doing the tracker every single day and posting a call to action might actually be the biggest mistake that you're making in your business. Because you're missing a very large part. And before I share that part, think about like this. You do all these things, right? You're very consistent, you post your call to action, you get crickets, and what do people tell us to do? Invite more. Post more stories, post more calls to action. This is what people tell you, because I know that I've said this to my team sometimes. I've said this to myself, I just need to 10x it. But if that were true, if 10xing that, how we find people were true, and it worked to help us bring on our team and recruit, then I feel like we would all be rank advancing month after month after month. We'd all be 15-star diamonds. But as it stands, there's one 15-star diamond in all of Canada, I think, maybe two now. So we know that that doesn't necessarily work. It's such a key first part, and it's a critical part. We have to find the people. But the other massive piece, the piece that is harder, that we don't always talk about, that we don't always remember that we need to do, is cultivating the relationship. Gotta cultivate the relationship. It's like I can find all the people I want in this world, but if I don't develop that relationship, then it doesn't matter. And you see this in other ways that we cultivate relationships, right? Like being that we've moved, when you move, I can find lots of people, lots of new people. We have neighbors all around us, we have all these people. It doesn't mean that I have a connection with these people. It doesn't mean that they know, like, and trust me. I have to be a neighbor. I have to show up at the park. I have to introduce myself. I have to bring brownies to the other new people when they come and they move. That's a real thing. We do that in the US a lot more. Bring brownies to your neighbors. Or Shakeology balls. We see it in relationships, right? How many of you guys have a significant other, right? We might like meet people everywhere we go. Maybe you even meet them at a bar. Maybe you meet them online. But it's not a meaningful relationship. That's just like flirting. We need to find a way to take these people from, hey, how's it going? Like, nice to know you. You seem like you're not crazy. To, okay, I'll go on a date with you. Okay, maybe I'll consider, going on a little vacation with you. Maybe we'll deepen this relationship, and maybe one day we'll even get married. Maybe we'll be best friends, right? We have to do this second key part. And that's what I want to talk with you guys today. I want to share with you the friends funnel. And ironically, the friends funnel has 7 steps. So I want to teach you today my friends funnel of how, because we all know that great Success Club tracker right here. Oh, wait. There we go, sorry. We know this is how we find the people, but I want you to take the people that you find and learn how to cultivate those relationships deeper, because our business is not built on the people we know today. We might come into this and we might have a network that trusts us already and sees us as a leader and wants to join us right away. Some of us have that, some of us don't. And it kind of is irrelevant in the beginning. It can be great to feel good and like you have people that want to be there with you, but your business, like the people that are the leaders on my team span coast to coast in Canada. There's some in the UK, there's some in the US. There are people I would not have known without this, right? That's how we build this business. How many of you guys have an upline coach you didn't know before starting this? I mean, that's a fair amount of you guys, right? So this is how we find them. And I want to share with you, how do we take these people that we find and get them to the point where when you put a call to action out, they are like, yeah, I know you. I know you're going to take me places. I believe that. And they want to jump on board with you. Because that's what happens when we see other top coaches and they put their call to action out. That's what they've done behind the scenes that we don't always see. We think, oh, they've got great pictures and they put awesome content out and all these people like them. They just want to do them because they're the right person. But it's not that. There's cultivation behind the scenes that we can't always put into a system. So that's what I want to share with you today is my system and what is working for me right now and my team right now to take the people that I'm connecting with every single day and I work so hard to find and develop those relationships into a deeper place so that they'll want to join you. And the last thing I'll say on this is 6 years ago when I became a coach, it was much easier to cultivate relationships just by posting every single day. We didn't even have stories back then, but not everyone was on social media. So when I made a post, all 150 of my friends saw it. And even as I grew and got to like 300, 400, 600 friends, a lot of those people saw it. But we know that that has changed. We can't possibly see all the content that gets put out there. So we needed to find another solution, or I needed to find another solution to cultivate the relationship so that when I put that call to action out, people are ready to join. Whether it's coaching, whether it's challengers, it doesn't really matter. Either way, we gotta grow that. So here we go. The friends funnel. So the very first step, and I want you to feel free to like snapshot anything here. I have some great content at the very end, some good resources for you at the end. But step one is to create your community space. And I say this, for me, you can create this, and I'll give you some key tips and action steps. You can create your community space on Facebook or Instagram, depending on what you love to do. My business works where I use Instagram to find people, but I bring them over to Facebook to deepen our relationship. So I've created a closed group on Facebook, and that is where I have what I like to call my she community. It's where I invite people in to have a closed group that's free, that we just get to know each other better. It's just a fun community space to me. And the reason I will say right now, you can do the same thing by creating a private Instagram page and invite people to that. But what I love about Facebook that I can't do on Instagram yet, you know how in Facebook groups you can set the settings where you ask a question before someone comes in? You guys know what I'm talking about? There's a settings section there. You can ask for their email at that time, which is an important piece because we're trying to move people to all the places we can reach them and continue to deepen that relationship. So here are some key tips and action steps for you to when you create your closed community on Facebook. You want it to be closed, of course, because people need to be able to request access in. You invite from your posts and your stories. So years ago, and maybe some people still do this, we had what we call hey girl messages. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. Have you heard of these before? Where it was like, hey, you know, thanks for liking my stuff. You want to join my challenge group? Like it was a real cold, hard invite. These days, what I do, what I would encourage you to do, is like, hey, thanks so much for engaging with my stories. I love seeing your name there. I have this great community. It's free. This is what it's all about. If you want, here's a link. Come on over in and check it out. And this is a great way to easily invite people who obviously have watched your stories, seen your post, that you've now found and kind of pulled into your network a little bit, to take them to another place where they get a chance to get to know you a little bit better. So invite every single day from your posts and your stories, passionately invite these people into your community. And the nice thing I like about that is it creates a barrier for us that we get to choose who comes into the community. Makes it a little bit more exclusive. I don't typically work with men, so I don't usually have men in my community. I can tell if someone is, you know, spammer, or you know, sometimes we get negative comments in social media. We all get them. So it allows me to give a space where I can pull out the people and the content that I want into a good community. So, and then the next thing is create a hashtag. Think about creating something that you can then tag all your posts in. Mine is like hashtag the she community. And then that starts to develop into something that people are like, what is this? And if the people in your community start using that hashtag, it starts to bring more awareness to the space of your community. Add to your network on the way in. So when I have someone each day, I'm posting, I'm inviting people from my stories and from my posts into my community. And when they request access in, I'm grabbing their email address and I send them a friend request. So now all these people that I'm finding over on Instagram, I can connect with them. So now I'm on Instagram with them, I'm on Facebook now with them, and I can send them a welcome message. Just a really simple thing, like, hey, I'm so welcome to the She community. Here's why I created it. You know, how are you doing in your health and fitness journey? What do you like to do? What are you about? Or I can easily make a connection and be like, oh, you're from Canada, I'm from Canada too. So this is the first initial action step around creating your community. Step 2, make it fun. I heard years ago, I remember someone talking about when you create challenge groups, this was before the challenge tracker, but even it applies to that as well. But you want to have it set up and like a party. Nobody wants to come to the party and it's like the lights are off and there's no music on. It's not a very fun party. Make it things I love so much about what we do is that you and I can be very different. And the only undercurrent that might be similar is that we believe in living healthy. But all the other aspects of our life are so different, and we can both be extremely successful in this business. So decide what your community stands for. Are you like a DIYer? Do you have a special needs child that takes up a lot of your time? Do you believe in, athletics as well? Like, what do you do outside of Beachbody that you can stand for in your business as well, in your community, that draws in other people that are like you? The goal is to get them to feel like they belong somewhere. This has been a big year for me at Summit. I shared this story, I think, on the Team Champions page, but at Summit, when I walked the stage for Elite, I felt like I didn't belong. And that was me feeling that way. But it's such an important part. I was struggling to feel like where I attached into the company again. And it's such an important thing to feel like you belong here. Why are you here? And even if you don't have an upline active, or even if you don't have a big team to be a part of, what are you creating that can help other people feel like they belong? We don't all look the same. We aren't all the same inside or out. So what are you doing to create space for the people who are like you to help them feel like they belong here? Post every day. So make sure that there's a steady heartbeat of content going in there. And I know you're probably all saying like, oh my gosh, I have to create more content. I have something for you at the end to help out with that, so not to worry. But you can always repurpose old content, put quizzes in there. The point of this is fun. Light, simple, keep it easy, get people engaging, do some polls, and engage in it every day. It's got to be one of those things that you do as part of your cultivating your relationship. Go into the group, engage with the people who are engaging with it, and then send your connection messages here. That's one of the things we have to do on our list. Make sure that the people you're connecting with are people who are already there with you wanting to show up. So they're the ones that are like, hey, you want to message me like, hey, thank you so much for engaging with your posts in the She. I love having you there. It really helps to create a good environment. Please keep going. Simple connection messages like that to grow your relationship with other people. All right, step 3. Oops, I jumped ahead. Go live. How many people go live anywhere in social at least 2 times a week? Okay, you need to go live. I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid for you. It is awkward and uncomfortable, and I recently shared my very first live video that I did like 4 years ago, and it was awful. When I look back on it, like I shared it with my team, and they're like, thank you for sharing that. Because it was just really like, hi guys. Anyway, we're gonna grow. The only way you get better in your live videos is ripping off the Band-Aid, and the only way people think of you as a real person is if they see you as a real person. You gotta do that, make it a habit. But specifically in your community, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna go here. Go live, because it is a very powerful way for people to feel like they know you. I swear it's why reality TV in the last, gosh, it feels like 2 decades now, has become so massive, because we feel like we connect with these people when they're actually real and on there. Go live 2 times a week minimum. Use one as an opportunity to answer a frequently asked question. If your community is about like, mine really is geared towards women, towards moms. I'm a vegetarian, and then obviously I run these groups, but it's not like the main element of my community. Use an opportunity like to, as you do a poll and ask people what they struggle with most in any one of those areas, and answer for them like a frequently asked question. Create that value right in there for them. And use the other one in the week to provide a tip. You guys all have figured out how to live a healthy and fulfilling life. A lot of people struggle with that. In fact, the majority of the world struggles with that. So share a tip that works for you. And use this opportunity as well to give them a sneak peek. You can be like, hey, if you're struggling to find a place to work out, this is what Beachbody On Demand looks like. Share your screen, turn your screen around and show, like VOD, and show how there's 1,100 workouts in there. Share a little bit about what your challenge group even looks like and how you support one another. Really give people a behind the scenes, because it starts to help them understand, oh, this is what you do. Because we get really stuck thinking that everybody already knows what we do. They don't. I still meet people every day that have no idea what Beachbody is. They think it's like a weird Beachbody thing, right? The names we throw people. So, okay. Step 4, welcome them weekly. This one I love, because in all of our groups, this is again why I love using Facebook to create my closed community. is that it allows me to very easily each week, like it prompts you, you have this many new members this week. Like welcome them all, it tags them all. You can ask them a really simple, engaging question, chocolate or vanilla, like, horror movies or romance novels. Like you can usually find something that people want to respond to really, really quickly. And then ask them to introduce themselves, tell them where they're from. Because when they first come into the group, that's the time when they're most excited to share a little bit more about them. And it's how you get to know them better. And then of course you want to show up and comment on it. All right. Step 5, monthly giveaways. So this is something that I've just started doing in my community, and I'm finding it a really great way for me to share a little bit about myself and for me to get to know the people in the group. And some great tips on giveaways. The goal is to drive engagement and connection. You want to pick a relevant prize. So my giveaway this month might be like a piece of our Beachbody Wear and Share. And keep it simple because we want people to engage. Do you have a question? Okay, let's hear it. Oh, your world? I would like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like that. Okay, and talk about it often, right? You want to talk about it often, and each week, maybe you're having that giveaway to get people excited and remind them of what you're doing. All right. Step 6, share what you do, right? We still need to share what it is that we're doing so that people know we can help them. They're not seeing our feed the same. So when they go to our feed, we still need them to recognize that we can help them and with what we can help them. But in our community, this is where our opportunity is to share even deeper about what we're doing and what we're excited about. And what I mean by that is you can still do your calls to action in your community. But it doesn't even have, it can be something just as simple as like, I'm so excited for BAR coming out. This is the next program that I'm gonna be doing. Here's a link to an info group, or if you want to learn more and consider doing it with me, here are some details. Just comment below and I'll send you some stuff. And in the community, what we get to do is we're working around that algorithm. All of a sudden, the people in the community are seeing all of your posts, as opposed to the 4% that might see it on your main page. And share what you're excited about, whether it's cafe mocha, peppermint mocha Shakeology that just launched that you're excited about and why, whether it's a new personal development book that you're reading. What is it that you're excited about that you can share with your friends? Because at the end of the day, I know that when my friend comes over and is excited about something, I'm like, what you got going on there? Like, I want to know what you're doing and why that's exciting. And then share free workouts in there. Every time we get the free workout sample, ask right in there. Does anybody want a free workout? I love this one. And you'll get people asking for it. Gives you a chance to either collect their email again or connect with them on a deeper level and always ask them a question. And then tell them what's coming. Okay. So, and the final step is step 7. And this might be new for some of you guys, but email them. This is a day and age where we really want to get into people's inner world, right? If we want to be a friend, we want to take it to the next level. And emailing them gives you another opportunity for you to get in front of their space. And so as you collect email addresses on the way into your community, and I don't get everybody's email address, I still let them in, but I let them know that if they want my weekly email or my weekly tips or recipe, that I will email them if they drop their email. You could start very simple. Like a simple weekly, even just a repurpose of one of your pieces of content on Facebook or Instagram that went well for you, you can put that in there. Grab a recipe from the Beachbody blog, stick it in there, and just send it out. You can start really simple that way. If you want, I know in Streak, there's Streak is a free way to use it. MailChimp has a free up to 1,000 people that you can use. This is really, it seems like it can be uncomfortable starting something new or going into a new area. But I swear, if you spend an hour getting to know either of these things, you'll get it. It's really simple, but sending out a weekly email allows people to know that you're there, you're real, you have something to share, you have something of value to provide to them. And you can do a monthly broadcast. So every month, as I get close to the end of the month, I can send out an email to all of my people in my email list and let them know what's coming, what challenge groups I'm running. And over time, what you'll find, 3 months, 6 months, a year into building your community, what started as just a few people in this community is going to grow into, I now have about 1,200 in my community, and when I send out this monthly broadcast, people write me back and they want to join. And it's not me always out there hunting for people, right? How do we get people to come to us? They don't come to us unless they know, like, and trust us. And this is how we do that, by cultivating that relationship. So if you want to stop staying in that area where you're finding the people, and never developing, never getting them to actually come to you, this is how we do that, by cultivating that relationship. And these are my steps to do that. So, I'm just looking for the people who are looking for me. Really great, but it's not the whole picture. And I want you to remember that as you leave here today, as you grow your businesses, because you guys, one of the most heartbreaking things for me as a coach that's been here for 6 or 7 years is to see other coaches leave at like 6 months or a year because they haven't reached the tipping point of their business and they haven't cultivated the relationship. They've had too much doubt going on, or they've given up too early. It takes 6 months of consistency before you develop a relationship. How many of you guys got married within 6 months of meeting someone? One. And it happens. It can happen. We see people too. We see people in this business come in and move quickly. But there's 300,000 coaches, and how many people do you see do that? So don't play those odds. My point is, you want to cultivate the relationship so that you can have a meaningful connection with the people coming in. Because the ones that come in that get to know you and they go through they'll stick through your challenge longer, and then they'll want to be a coach, and they'll actually stick through the coach longer because they know, like, and trust that you will be there for them as well. So I do have a few resources for you to help you with this stuff, because I know the last thing everyone needs is more to do. It's very difficult sometimes. The first one, I try to connect with other people who can help me along this journey, or as I've learned that I can't just find the people I need to cultivate. I have 2 women in my life that I've connected with that have made a huge impact on helping me understand this new system. One of them is Michelle Gadd, and she creates like community content. So, and she has 30 days of free community content. If you want it, you can click on it, you can download that stuff so that you can already pre-schedule the next 30 days of content in your community. Gives you that good head start, right? It'll take you 10 minutes to schedule it. It's not a big deal. So if you want something free, she's really great, and she's got some great free content. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook as well. Did everybody get that one? And then the other woman that I work with that really helps a lot is Ashley Shaw. I don't know if you've heard from her. These are both Canadians, by the way. Just gonna shamelessly plug us. And she has a great free group, business boot camp for fitness entrepreneurs. She creates awesome content in there on how to develop the relationships. And so I would really encourage you, I know my whole team's in this group, to follow this group. It's a free community for her, for you to learn and get to know her and get some good stuff out of it. But she also has a great done-for-you peppermint mocha post. So 5 emails already done that you can use to start sending out to your customer base already. And that's it. That's what I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for having me. I want to encourage you to be here for 7 years. This business keeps giving back. You need to believe in yourself. You need to know that you belong here. And you just have to keep cultivating those relationships to find your people. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Super Saturday.
All right, guys, that was amazing. I basically videoed the whole thing. I want to share with all of my team. It was so good. So what we're going to do is the breakout sessions now. So what we're going to do is, if